Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the C Morning Show. It's time for our next discussion. Let's talk a little bit about health. When it comes to health, there are some conditions with little or no chance or possibility for a cure. Just like the name implies, a rare disorder only affects a small size of the population.
Most rare disorders are genetic and can affect someone for the rest of their lives. Even if symptoms do not immediately appear, many rare disorders surface early in life. Unfortunately, about 30% of children with RD have been predicted to die before reaching their 5th birthday.
Fortunately, now there is an Indonesian community where children or those with rare disorders can share their condition and receive support, such as medical consultation.
And to find out more, we are now connected or here with us in the studio, the Vice Chairman of the Indonesia Rare Disorders Community, Mbak Herning, whose son lives with the Waardenburg syndrome. Aside from her, we'll also connect with Mbak Ichen, who has a son with CHARGE syndrome and is currently receiving treatment in Singapore. Good morning, Mbak Herning and Kinan here in the studio. And Mbak Ichen, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
Morning, everyone.
Hi, Mbak Ichen. We're gonna talk about you. We're gonna talk with you later. Mbak Herning is in the studio.
Yes.
Mbak Herning, you might heard us talking about rare disorder. First of all, probably you can tell us more about RD. What actually a rare disorder?
Okay, actually, disorder is a condition when it's classified as rare when it's around. The counting is around 1 out of 2,000 birth, and yeah, we have this condition with our children in Indonesia, and also the condition itself. The reason why this happens in our encounter into our family is that because 80% of them are because of the genetics, and the 20% is mostly the mutation, random mutation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and nowadays we have 7,000 known disorders in the world.
So it's not necessarily from birth. This can also be developed as they're young, throughout your young child's life.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the Indonesia Rare Disorders community that has been formed, which was founded in 2015 by a mother whose child lives with genetic disorders. What sort of activities and programs do you offer to those that are in the community?
So Indonesia Rare Disorders, now we have 300 members all across the globe.
Okay.
Indonesian members, of course.
Of course.
We have members that live in Japan, and then also America, Bahkan, of course, now in Singapore, and Switzerland.
Okay.
And about the services that we give to our members is consultation, so the parents especially, they have enough information, knowledgeable base on their child condition.
Right.
So we provide consultation with our volunteers doctors that they put us so much,
He likes that.
so much effort of their time to,
Oh, you know this love
He
stuff.
draw love.
loves draws.
Amazing.
And we have several programs such as genetic tests,
Okay.
chromosomal microarray analysis
Okay.
to identify what kind
it
of
is.
what it is, because
Right.
it's unlikely.
That's the tricky part about something being being rare, because then it's hard to find information about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare.
It's
the
challenging.
Can you tell us a little bit about Keenan? What is Waardenburg syndrome?
Okay, Waardenburg syndrome is a condition with it's 1 out of 40,000 births now
1,000. Okay, that is
around the globe.
Such a
Yeah, it's a rare one.
Why?
It's affected his hearing, and the syndrome itself give a lot of problem in the chromosome that build the hearing system that connected to hearing system. So the mark itself in Waardenburg syndrome, as you can see, there's the Kenan colors eyes is a bit different.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes there are people that asking, so your husband is an American?
Oh, right now.
His beautiful eyes, by the way. That's the first thing I
Beautiful
noticed.
colors. But,
So, yeah, so it's happened to have this condition usually affected on the hearing parts
Okay.
of them.
So it's helped through his communication. As you can see, by the way, Kenan likes to communicate through drawing. So through illustrations, it's the way he's able to communicate in order to compensate for his loss of hearing. Look at that. What is he telling you, Shafira?
oh my God, he draws something. He loves to draw, right?
Yeah.
Mbak Herni, you love to draw, and this is the way Kenan communicate. And I think this is me, full of love. and this one, this you. You are sleeping.
That's me. I'm sleeping. I am
Probably.
very sleepy. But I always get sleepy.
I try to articulate this picture though. But Mbak Herning, when the first time Kenan was diagnosed by the rare condition, when was it? And how you processed those situations?
Yeah, that was a challenging moment, I guess.
Sure.
So Kenan was diagnosed in 2017.
Okay.
How old?
That was 3 years old.
Oh, he was 3.
I know it's late. It's very late. Because at the age of 3, we have suspected something is going wrong.
Yeah.
Because Kenan has a very limited vocabulary, and then I'm afraid there's a speech delay there. And then we went to the pediatric and leads one thing into another. The ear, nose, and throat specialist told us that there's a possibility that Kenan have this specific syndrome.
Okay.
So I Googled it. And then I found this Indonesia rare disorder, talked to the specialist there, the doctor, the Dr. Widya, and he told me all about it.
Okay, so they immediately were able to identify what it was. We're going to try to connect with Mai Chen. Mai Chen, are you there? We may have lost you. Oh, hi. So let's go to you for a second. Is Matthew there with you? Matthew is Mai Chen's son. They're joining us all the way from Singapore. So hi there. So earlier we heard from Bahkan sharing about Kenan's condition. Now in Matthew's case, you're in Singapore specifically as well in order to help get treatment for Matthew. Matthew actually has a charge syndrome. Can you explain a little bit about charge syndrome, what it actually is?
Yeah, hi. I'm Ichan, and charge. Oh, sorry, he's talking
It's
to
okay.
me. So charge is actually a really extremely rare. It affects almost every organ of the body.
Okay.
Wow.
So mainly kids with charge, they affect the ears. Mostly they have profound hearing loss. Most of the kids born with charge. And for Matthew, it's different from kid to kid. For Matthew, he has heart disease. It affects his heart, hearing, and his upper airways. And he has ambiguous genital.
Yeah.
So when he was born, they thought he was a female instead of male because of the ambiguous genital.
Okay.
And then when he was born, his both hands were like bird. It's like closing. It's not opening at all. And he also have his toes are not formed properly.
Okay.
So when he was born at the night, doctor told me he may not live more than a week because of the condition, because of the heart is having failure, and then airway having failure, and that there are just so many things happen in his body of his organ. So the doctor asked me to be prepared. He's not going to live more than a week. If he passed that 1 week, he may live only for 1 month. Then maximum for 1 year. So it was very shocked because I'm first-time mother and I never experienced having a even normal child.
Yes.
And then when he was born, it's everything like
Yeah.
thunderstorm.
Yeah, yeah.
So you, Matthew, obviously, we also heard that he had to go through heart surgery as early as 3 weeks after birth. But obviously, you're continuing to make it through. In fact, you're in Singapore there. Part of the reason is part of the treatment as well. How is everything progressing up to this point? And how has the Indonesian rare disorder community helped you out as well?
Okay, actually, when after his heart surgery and he has very severe infection, 3 doctors in Mount Elizabeth asked me to give up to stop the breathing assistant because it's not gonna help him. So I went to another hospital. Then the doctor tell me to give him up again, stop continuing the treatment. But I insist, so I transfer him to another government hospital, and he survived there. But he has to go for many surgeries. Like he has to be, his airway has to be bypassed. He has to breathe through a tube from the neck until today.
Oh, wow.
And apparently, many treatments. Yeah. Actually, many doctors, even in Singapore, asked me to give him up until I move and transfer. Even before I put on the breathing tube, the doctor tell me in a meeting, do you know that your son is having a bad airway? He is blind, he is deaf. So he has brain abnormalities that is severe, that all part of the brain is water. So if you insist on fighting for him, how will you see him smile because he cannot see you smile? How can you hear him saying mama because he cannot hear? So all the bad prognosis, and I just say to the doctor, just let him breathe. As long as he can breathe, if he will stay on the bed for the rest of his life, I will accept. And Indonesia, so far, he defied all the expectation of the doctors. He walked, he is learning, and Indonesian rare disorder has helped me because there are doctors there are mother who have the same syndrome that give exchange information. So it's very helpful because sometimes when you are too busy taking care of your son, you do not have time to do research. Sometimes it's very limited time, but as the time progress, you have to do research by your own. You have to learn so many things by your own.
Okay. So, Mbak Ichan, we heard so much already about what you gave to your son, and what kind of things that he been through and your family been through. How you give the understanding or probably calm your son down before the treatment started? Because we know your son been operated since very early age, and it keeps continuing for the treatment until now.
So how do I tell him?
Yes,
Just
how
the
do you
physical and emotional support that you provide for him.
Exactly.
So because Matthew is deaf, he has, of course, an issue in behavior, but it's not because his behavior is bad, because he cannot hear. So I'm now is actually taking few classes at night, like American Sign Language, to communicate with Matthew. So I joined deaf culture in America. So I talk to deaf person every night, every single night at 10. I will join them, which helped me to improve my sign language, which means I improve my teaching to Matthew.
Okay. All right.
When my sign language improve, Matthew improve talk, communicate too. So for physiotherapy, I will say, Matthew, today we are going to do exercise, you are doing good, and then he will, it's encourage him to do things.
Right. And you can have a two-way communication
Yeah.
using that.
Wow.
Yes, of course,
So,
yes.
so how old is Matthew now, by the way? Mai Chen?
Matthew is 6.
6 years old. Wow. So you made it through this far. That is amazing,
Amazing.
considering all the obstacles that you had to face in the early days.
Thank God for it, and thank Matthew for fighting too.
Absolutely. Matthew sounds
Wow.
like a tough little guy. So, Baherning, it must be very challenging because when you talk about a community, this is not just a community getting people together that share similarities, but because these similarities are rare, it's very difficult to get information on this. I mean, yes, you have a sharing information platform, but how do you even categorize what it is that people need? Because rare disorders are exactly that, rare. So how are you able to group off what it is that each individual in the community needs and how to address each of these issues?
Usually, we make it categorized by their needs.
Okay.
Such as Mbak Ichen use a tube for breathing.
Right.
They might have been need a medical supply, so we provide them.
Oh, okay.
We have a generous, lovable, loving person out there that donates all of the medical supplies. And
Yeah.
sometimes, unfortunately, several children has not won their battle. So
Okay.
we do believe that it's all the medical expert has done their best efforts. There's a lot. This world is definitely need a lot of work to be done, and usually their parents would donate all of the supplies for us.
Right.
So we donate it to another child that is in need.
Okay, so again, I guess it's up to the necessities of each of the
Yes.
parents, but at least it's not for the lack of trying. At least everyone
Yes.
can at least try to address all of
Yes.
these needs.
If they need information, we provide it from our doctors because in rare cases, in our children, a simple cough can lead to pneumonia.
Right.
Wow.
So it's caused a higher problem,
Right.
bigger problem,
It leads
right?
to more problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, can you, before we close this off, can you tell us how it is that people can contribute their help to the community? For example, if one does not have a child with rare disorder, how can they contribute to help out as well?
Yeah, they can always please welcome to visit our Instagram or Facebook, Indonesia Rare Disorders.
Okay.
They can do whatever as they please they could help.
Yeah.
We have volunteers that do content for social media. We will provide medical supplies. Sometimes we do have companies that work with us in collaboration to give access or awareness or campaign to people out there, because most importantly of all, our community raising awareness for people out there just to make sure that they fully understand the message that we're trying to say. When you found or meet someone with disabilities, special needs, please just look at us, don't stare at us.
Okay.
We do believe that this should be a social standard for us. So.
Okay. By the way, I'm sorry, I can't help but staring at Keenan because
Exactly.
his eyes are very
It is
beautiful.
so-
They're very captivating.
Exactly.
Anyway, if you want to check out more about Indonesia Rare Disorder, that is the Instagram that you guys can check out to find out more as well.
Exactly.
He's very camera friendly, by the way.
Exactly, and
He
he's
has a
so
future in
active.
television.
You know what? He keeps drawing your tie, your eyebrow, this one, the microphone, and
Oh,
everything.
keep that.
One thing, Baharning, I curious. Does your community supported by the government?
So about the support from the government, we do have discussed, we've made some discussion with the social ministry, Ministry of Education, and also with the politician from MPR. We have discussed the condition of our children. Hopefully, we do believe that the hope is there, the chances are available. Hopefully, we will.
There you go. Hi, Matthew.
Hi,
Great to
Matthew.
finally see you. Yay.
Matthew.
We can finally see Matthew on camera. There you go. Don't be shy. Hi, Matthew. Thank you for joining us. Finally had.
Hello.
He's a true warrior.
Exactly. Charlie. He's
Adorable.
6 years old now. We've been through so many things.
Yeah.
These two kids are
Yeah.
very special, and also the parents.
Yes.
They are very special parents.
Mai-chan
Of
and
course.
Herning, we hope that you continue to inspire
Yeah.
the rest of us out here, because I certainly feel inspired by you sharing your
Yeah.
stories, and we hope that you continue to stay strong for the sake of all of our children. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank
you so much. Good luck to you both.
Thank you, Keenan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keenan.
Thank you to share everything that
Yes.
you know with us today, this morning. Hopefully, it can be really good things for parents out there who
Absolutely.
probably the kids or
Yes.
their children have the similar disease.
Right.
Can join with the community as well.
Find out more at Indonesia Rare Disorders on Instagram. From there, you can get all the information that you need. And in the meantime, we're going to take another short break here on the C Morning Show, but we'll be right back with more recaps from our earlier stories when we return.